What's up, everyone? Welcome to Bench with the Tovar brothers. My name's Joey, joined by my brother Angel. What's up, man?
Hello.
Monday, January 29th, 2024. Day one on the march to the Super Bowl. Super Bowl number
58.
58.
The road to 58. Oh, man.
100% transparency. We had to double check to make sure that we're reading those Roman numerals the correct way.
Because I went to school, but that was a long time ago on Roman numerals.
Also, why are we using Roman numerals? Why not just put the number 58?
It looks cool.
It does look cool.
Yeah,
I think that's the only reason.
Yeah, aesthetically, it's really nice.
Before we get to the Super Bowl, though, there's a football yesterday.
A little bit.
Sunday
football.
championship weekend.
Woo.
Good games, good teams. Honestly, 4 good teams, only 2 could advance. So it's the most overreaction Monday, I think, of the season, because people are going to overreact to teams that made it to the championship round.
Yep.
Hey, you had a good season.
I mean, there's some proper reactions to one team in particular.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
That's it's an appropriate reaction, I should say.
Episode number 84, before we get to that.
Man.
Famous 84. That is a
Hall of Fame number.
huge number.
Let's start with Broncos legend, now
Of course you would.
NFL analyst, or whatever he is, podcaster, Shannon Sharp.
He played football?
Yes, he did. He was a Hall of Famer. Antonio Brown, also 84. Randy Moss, also 84.
That's the first one. That's the greatest 84.
The big three. Yeah, Randy Moss is probably the greatest, yeah. But, I mean, Antonio Brown and Shannon Sharp are no... AB, for all he is now, he's a Hall of Famer. Like, first ballot Hall of Famer. All the numbers, his numbers are fantastic. And then Shannon Sharp is just Shannon Sharp. Shout out to Club Shay Shay.
Anything else? Oh, yeah, Club Shay Shay.
Yeah.
And anyone else? That's the
Top of my head, yeah. I mean...
Yeah. Famous actors that are 84 years old.
Oh,
right?
God, this is...
No, your nerdness will like this first one. Ian McKellen.
Ian McKellen.
That's the professor, right?
Yeah.
Right? Let me show you the picture.
Uh,
That's the professor, right?
That's Magneto.
Dang, dude.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry to everyone. I know there's some nerds who are gonna hate that I just did
That's
that.
a Magneto.
Paul Hogan.
Okay.
Best known for his role of Crocodile Dundee.
Oh, I've never seen that movie.
Never seen him, but you
probably
know the
won't-
guy, right?
Yeah. Crocodile Dundee.
Ralph Lauren.
Oh, okay.
Fashion billionaire.
Fashion icon or whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
Jack Nicklaus. He was a golfer, but honestly, it's all about the drink.
Yep.
He gave the world that famous drink that honestly is as basic as it can get.
Yeah.
A child could have made that, but we attribute it to Jack Nicklaus. God, I'm thinking. God.
You're thinking of Arnold Palmer.
Wow, then I don't know anything about Jack Nicklaus.
No, never mind. Sorry, Jack.
Hey, give me a Jack Nicklaus.
What the hell's Jack Nicklaus?
This guy thinks this is Jack Nicklaus.
It's just lemonade and iced tea.
You know what?
Mixed together.
I'm sorry for taking that away from Arnold Palmer.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, is there a famous drink called the Nicholas?
You looked at me weird, and I was like, wait, it's a Jack Nicklaus, right? And
It's Arnold Palmer.
Arnold Palmer, never mind.
One of my favorite drinks, your favorite drink, or one of your favorite drinks, is a classic Arnold Palmer. Yeah.
Born in, 1939? Mike Ditka.
The classic. I know him as the sweater vest wearing, mustache having SOB Bears coach.
Yeah, he's a bad
man. That is a bad dude.
There's a couple in here, but nothing too. Oh, Carl Yastrzemski. Carl Yastrzemski.
Okay.
I think one of the best names in baseball
Okay.
ever, or in sports ever.
It's
Yastrzemski.
familiar. I'm not too sure what his thing.
I can't tell you much about him either, but I know he's famous.
I know the name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway, championship weekend has come and gone. We have 2 teams now left. 1 game left in the 2023-2024 season. 1 game separating us just from a couple months of darkness where we're just
going to our caves.
We'll do anything to watch football, but we won't watch the USFL.
No, probably won't. We'll just all wait for spring ball.
Yeah.
In college, and that's gonna be what's gonna hold us over until the NFL comes back.
Yeah, I don't even think I'll watch that. I'm not.
I mean,
but
the US,
but that's what most America will do.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't feel like watching Chad Kelly versus like.
They're really pushing it this year too, and I just don't care. It's
all the cast-offs who couldn't make an NFL roster, and good for them for still going for the dream and all that. But it's tough to watch.
Yes, I'm not hating it. I'm just saying that's not really my thing.
Yeah, I'm sure it's for somebody.
Which is it's football, but it's not my.
Is
football.
it though?
It's not my football.
Yeah.
Quick question: if you're you have to watch something, you watching the USFL or a WNBA game?
The USFL. I will
Comment below your choice.
I will leave it at that.
Let's get to Monday's bananas. These are the second. I need to explain this, okay? These are the headlines that won't make the A block of your favorite Fox or ESPN show. Skip Bayless isn't talking about this, right? But we think they're important. So we got to give them some bananas, even though they are the second banana headlines. You get started.
Okay, 313 bananas to Eminem for flipping off the entire crowd of the 49ers of the 49ers game.
The 3-1-3.
We need more Eminem at playoff games.
Yeah.
He brings that tough guy, don't give a bleep energy.
Yeah, fans came at him like he was Taylor Swift, and he quickly reminded him.
I am not Taylor Swift, bitch.
I'll turn into Marshall Mathers real quick.
Real quick.
7 college bananas to Kirk Cousins. You see this? For being just a good dude. 2 college girls saw him on campus. He was there. He was there getting. I knew it.
Nice,
you didn't let me. As soon as I wrote that in my notes, I knew like Angel's gonna be all over that.
Nice.
He was there for physical therapy. He's recovered from injury.
Wow.
They told the professor about it. They had seen him on campus. The professor then offered extra credit if they can find him, bring him to class. They found him. Not only did he come to class, he gave him a ride to class and took the time to speak to the class.
Oh, good for him. Nice
Just
guy.
a good dude.
Good, solid man of America. 1 banana to Baltimore Ravens wide receiver Zay Flowers, who had a tough sequence yesterday. He had he lost a fumble in the end zone that resulted in a touchback.
Ouch.
Then, out of anger, punched the bench and then cut his hand.
Yes.
So, real rookie, welcome to the league moment. Even though technically he already has 1 year under his belt, still rookie moment.
The funniest thing to me about that was his face when he cut his finger.
Yeah.
There was some real panic there.
Yeah.
There's some real fear.
Yep.
Negative 99 bananas to David Tepper. This fool. Listen to what he did.
What?
Former Panthers offensive line coach James Campen was implanted as a mole for Tepper in the locker room and would have to snitch to Tepper on what he saw going on in the Carolina Panthers locker room.
And we wonder why they're the worst team in football.
What are you doing?
What a freaking moron. 50 bananas to all these Super Bowl teaser commercials yesterday. Looking forward to another round, another year of Super Bowl commercials and trailers. This is part of the Super Bowl charm, is that you have football and then you have the commercials.
Yep.
2 beasts and they're both great.
13 bananas to Maryland Governor Wes Moore.
Okay.
For shotgunning beers with Raven fans in the parking lot before the game.
Attaboy.
Man of the people. We got elections coming up. I don't know what you look for in a candidate.
We're going to Baltimore.
I love that.
1 banana to Lions cornerback Kendall Vindler. Who dropped a potential pick, who let it hit his face, resulting in a fantastic Brandon Ayuk catch. Maybe he'll catch this 1 banana that we just gave him, because he didn't catch damn football yesterday.
Probably not.
Oh,
75,000 bananas to Chiefs standout wide receiver Kadarius Toney, who now has plus 75,000 odds to be the Super Bowl MVP next week. I don't even know if he's going to play after going off on the Chiefs on Instagram. I don't know.
Look, you have $20 lying around, just put it on.
Might
put
as
it
well.
on him. Yeah, why not?
You good?
That's all I got for today.
Yeah, those were fun.
Yeah.
That Kadarius Toney thing's crazy.
Yeah, I saw it and I sent it to you immediately. I got it for you.
So it was reported before the game that Kadarius Toney, I think he had a baby, right?
Yes.
So he had his first child, he had a child.
A child. We're not sure.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah.
And then, but it was also reported that he had an injury.
Yep.
And then he goes on Instagram, says, "I don't have an injury." Used a lot of expletives. He really felt
he did it so eloquently.
Yeah, he
so
really
easy to
just
understand. Yeah.
Antonio Brown this thing.
Yep.
And I can't see Did you know he's been out 6 weeks?
I'm sure he has.
He hasn't been playing 6 weeks.
It does not matter because he's not good.
The Chiefs put him on the back burner, okay?
Yeah.
We were kind of like, you really injured? But now that he's going after this, it's just, you're not going to be even in Las Vegas next week or 2 weeks.
End of the day, if they win, he gets the last laugh because he still gets the Super Bowl ring.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a Kadarius Toney Super Bowl ring, but it's a ring.
He's going to hate that ring.
No, I don't know. He's such a weird dude.
Real quick, before we move to the news, I forgot all the housekeeping. If you're watching it on YouTube, thanks so much for joining us. If it's your first time joining the show, welcome.
Hi.
We talk football 3 times a week, no matter what. Angel, is that going to stop when the Super Bowl's over?
Huh.
3 times a week? You're not paying
Hell no.
Yeah, thank you. We're going to keep going 3 times a week, no matter what. And we might even bring some fresh faces, right?
Ooh,
some new people coming
adding
in.
some staff members.
Can't pay him.
Pro bono.
Yep. Yeah, but if you're watching, thanks for joining us. If you've been, I genuinely mean this. If you've been watching with us, this season, I don't care when you joined on, but you've made this part of your regular NFL consumption. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're the MVP.
Yeah.
You're the best. And there's many of you out there, and we love you. Go ahead and shout us out. Shout us out right now when you started watching Benched. Or listening.
Oh, there's going to be some day oneers. I already know like 2 or 3 who are going to I was the first one I listened to this.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
If you're listening on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, thank you so much for your guys' faithful listens as well. And thanks for joining the show, the audio version of Bench with the Tovar Brothers. And, of course, Instagram, X, TikTok, follow those different platforms, social media platforms. Search at Benched Show, spelled just like that. And thanks for following those things. Highlights, game clips, show clips. I
gotta say though,
breaking news.
The comment section on the TikTok was pretty funny yesterday. What
post?
Just bashing Lions. It was for it was for the Jameson Williams highlight.
Oh yeah.
But then that didn't age very well because of what happened in the second half.
Yeah.
So it was like, Lion. It was just pretty funny.
Yeah. Yesterday was a tough day for the Lions.
Yeah.
A tough day for Dan Campbell on the socials.
Yep. Ben Johnson, I mean, his offense just stopped.
Yeah.
Just stopped.
And then I've never seen I've never seen a group of people respond to a post so quickly and adamantly and in unison than when you posted that we will not be posting Taylor Swift content. People love that.
Look,
people are all about it.
We are not sponsored by ESPN, by Fox, by any major network, so we're allowed to say whatever the hell we want. And all I wanted to do yesterday after the game was watch some highlights, and all I saw was Taylor Swift. I'm like, look, I'm happy that they're happy. It's great. But I want to watch football, please. This is a AFC title game. I don't want to see Taylor Swift. I want to see highlights, interviews, post-game stuff.
This is where I'm at with it. I understand. I feel the same way. But I'm almost like sick of people even complaining about it because it's going to happen. It's
going to be all over.
It's like people complaining about taxes. Like, all right, I get that you're mad, but it's going to happen. So just deal with it.
Death, taxes, and Taylor Swift
The NFL
posts.
is literally doing Taylor Swift posts, like on the NFL Instagram.
That's ridiculous.
So it's just going to happen. And just be thankful she's not singing at halftime because then it would just be unbearable.
Why didn't you give Eminem that kind of spotlight? He's just as... Oh, that
would have been terrible for him to do. Imagine.
Yeah, just angrily looking at the camera, flip it off the camera.
Let's get into the news. All right, we said it for the second time in 4 seasons. The Chiefs and the Niners are going to be in the Super Bowl. And if you're looking to get to this game, start selling cans, start maybe having a bake sale in the front yard,
GoFundMe,
garage sales,
go
GoFundMes. Do anything you can besides the illegal stuff to scrape some money together because to get into this game is going to cost you north of $8,000.
Holy hell!
$8,000.
That's a lot of money.
I had a little moment of envy yesterday. We were watching the game with the family, and
our family, not just a family.
Yeah. The family usually means my family.
Oh, so I thought you said a family. Like, we just went to someone's house and watched it with them.
Yeah, I'll clarify. It's my relatives.
Got you.
You good now with that?
I thought you said a family. I was like, yeah, I guess you.
We were sitting there watching the game, and there is a moment, a very special moment, with a son and his 2 kids. They're in the front row watching the game, and someone commented, like, hey, that's a great moment. And I immediately filled with envy, like, do you know how much money he spent? My dad, we would never be able to do that.
And it was a Lions fan, so
it was a cool moment though. The kids looked very excited.
I mean, he was like what 7 or 8 at a Lions game, sitting there.
Super cool.
God, awesome.
49ers open as 2.5-point favorites over the Chiefs.
Interesting.
How you feel about
Chiefs
that?
have been underdogs, I think, the whole postseason. So interesting.
And then this is the first. This is funny. So the NFL wants the Super Bowl teams to stay away from the Strip. We'll talk about that in a second. For obvious reasons.
Yeah.
The Chiefs will stay at the Westin Lake, Las Vegas, and the 49ers will stay at the Hilton, Las Vegas. Any chance they're keeping these boys away from the Strip?
No.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I'm glad they said it publicly, so at least like they can say like, oh, we tried.
Yeah.
But these are a bunch of 26-year-old guys who are in the Super Bowl and they're in Las Vegas. Like maybe they're, not mature enough. Maybe they're just like so all about business that they don't go to Las Vegas and do the whole Strip and gambling and all that. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, chances are close to 0.
One of those players, Chase Young, is report. This is a report from what is it called? NFL notifications.
Well, he's already there
at NFL Notified. No, what I'm saying it's a very negative report. So I want to make sure I'm just the messenger.
Okay,
don't kill me for this. But this tweet says 49ers will consider or did consider benching Chase Young during the NFC Championship and possibly during the Super Bowl. He's made a habit of taking plays off, and the Niners have started to view him as a liability.
Well, the first play was Randy Gregory. I watched that deal. It was not Chase Young.
So there's some truth to this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's costing himself a lot of money.
Yeah. I mean, he made some good plays yesterday, though.
He did.
Yeah. But
he made
still,
they didn't bring you in there to make a couple plays.
No, he had the rep in Washington for being the same thing. That's why Chase Young went for more. No. That's why Montez Sweat cost more than Chase Young did.
Yeah, Chase Young, I think, was the bigger name. But, I mean, we've seen this play out now. Montez Sweat is clearly the better
player. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins, like we just talked about, the really, really good guy, is also a really, really greedy man. He's looking for $90 million guaranteed for 2 years to re-sign with the team. And let me tell you, before you say anything, he's worth every penny.
What happened to the hometown discount? You know what? Screw that. I want my money, baby.
I mean, okay. This is according to Charlie Walters. Okay, so don't. Once again, just the messenger here.
We'll see.
Is he worth 2 years, $90 million?
Yeah,
he is.
Yeah,
he was having a career year.
Yeah, and the Vikings were actually a good team, and he has overcome the stigma of primetime Kirk. Yeah, he's
ridiculous.
Just fine in primetime. But yeah, I would pay him. A lot of teams go ask any team in the NFL, the Browns, the Jets. How much would you pay Kirk Cousins to play on your team? They would pay $90 million.
Gosh,
yes, they would.
I mean, especially if like this year, like all the quarterbacks going down. If you would have had a Kirk Cousins just lighting the earth on fire like he was when he got injured, I mean, he's still good, man. Yep. So I think they're going to give it to him. Greg Olsen might have called his last game yesterday for Fox as far as the top analyst is concerned. Okay. Tom Brady scheduled to take over next year as part of his $375 million contract.
Tom Brady's still doing GOAT things. Just said, I don't want to play second place to anybody. I'm first place. I want the title games. I want the primetime games. I want the Cowboy games, I guess. Like the most watched games. It's gonna be Brady.
But first I'm gonna take a year off.
I wonder who they're gonna pair him with, though.
Has to be a vet.
Because I think they're gonna keep Greg Olsen with what's his name, who they already have him with.
Burkhardt? Burkhardt? Yeah.
That's a nice pairing.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're gonna hire someone like outside the market to come in.
It'll be someone.
It'll be like a vet.
Yeah, someone who knows. It's
gonna not Al Michaels.
It's gonna be a power team for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be Al Michaels.
No.
But it's gonna be a power team for sure. Okay, moving on here. Did you see the Bears' social media? Maybe this is just to confuse the masses.
Masses.
Right. They posted a Justin Fields highlight tape, nearly a minute long, on their Twitter. The only caption said JF1. Is this something they would do if they were keeping him?
This reminds me a lot of the QB1 for Andy Dalton, that he wasn't the QB1.
Well,
they are known to just be in total miscommunication with the actual team.
The social media?
The Bears. So, this could be just some intern man, I love Justin Fields. And he posts it, and this happens. Yeah. I don't think this means anything for anything. I think it's just...
So, I think basic logic would tell you this means he's sticking around. But that's assuming that whoever is running this is operating on basic logic. It could just be...
Or knows what's happening inside the inner workings of the...
Well, no, I'm saying, you don't post this if you don't know what's happening.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, right? I mean...
Well, it's like highlight time when everyone posts their best highlights. I guess your quarterback is a fun... I don't know. It's confusing.
I don't know.
We'll see.
But yeah, I mean, that could be a really...
Or maybe that was...
memeable.
Maybe that was Eberflus himself, just up there, just...
Paying off the social media intern.
Yeah.
Some kid.
22.
I would take it.
Yeah.
I would take the money.
Yeah.
Ravens defensive coordinator Mike McDonald scheduled to meet Monday night with the... Wow, they wasted no time.
Nope.
With the Commanders. Owner Josh Harris, general manager Adam Peters, and other Washington leadership. So Mike McDonald straight to the coaching circuit here.
Yeah.
And then it just came out. Seahawks are interviewing both Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson and Mike McDonald today and tomorrow for their head coaching job. So it looks like Seahawks Commanders are just waiting on those two guys.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing those are the two guys who are going to fill those two slots. I don't know which way. But
I mean, those two good coordinators.
Oh, yeah.
I think either team would be happy with either one of those guys.
Right.
This also means the Vrabel thing is weird. The Belichick thing is like, these guys, these veteran coaches might just be out of a job for a year.
I mean, even some of the hot assistants, the Slowick.
Yeah.
I mean, great news for C.J. Stroud, I guess.
Yeah, Stroud keeps his guy for him for 1 more year.
Slowick, Eric Bieniemy, I think just will never be a coach.
He just, I mean, he's not staying in Washington, is he? He's probably gone too.
I'm guessing, yeah.
Yeah, if they bring in, Ben Johnson, they don't want,
He'll be an OC somewhere.
go back to the Chiefs.
Ron Rivera. Trying to think of all the guys who got let go.
Oh, Ron.
Frank Reich.
What's up, Frank?
Arthur Smith, your boy.
Yeah.
Beloved offensive coordinator.
Head coach.
Or head coach, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Of the Falcons, formerly has interviewed for the Steelers offensive coordinator position. This is important because that position was a huge topic last year with Matt Canada just getting booed out of the building. Yep. If they don't like Matt Canada, wait till you have Arthur Smith in the building.
This makes no sense. This is the most dysfunctional offensive mind. Not dysfunctional. They're overthinking offensive mind to a team with a bunch of kind of diva wideouts and no QB.
I don't know who the RB3 is on that team, but go pick him up right now.
And go pick up the backup tight end.
Yep.
And go pick up the backup everything.
Yeah, those guys are going off.
Yeah, they're going off next year.
No, but honestly, if you made a list on how to further piss off Steeler fans,
this is top of the list.
Near the top. Yeah, very near the top.
Next, you'll find out that they're going to bring in Zach Wilson to play quarterback. Mm-hmm. God, that is
to compete.
That is
that's the classic move. We're
gonna bring duo.
We're gonna bring them in to compete.
Yeah, that's what a terrible duo. That Zach Wilson and I'm blanking on his name. Arthur Smith. God, please don't hire Arthur Smith. Please.
I don't know. I mean, there's some good guys out there. Maybe Bobby Slowick. He seems pretty good.
He's not gonna go.
Bills named Joe Brady, their offensive coordinator. They keep him around. That was a big deal,
as they should.
And I'm surprised he didn't get any head coach interviews. Maybe they need to see it a little more.
Maybe this is the fallback guy. If it doesn't work out next year, Joe Brady stays there because Josh Allen likes him.
Yeah,
that's the first thing I thought.
Joe Brady going to stay in there, so I think we'll see another really, really strong year from Josh Allen.
Yeah, they seem to work pretty well together. The offense flowed better. I'm sure Stephon Diggs hates him because once he took over, it was like his numbers shot right down.
Yeah. A couple more offensive coordinator hires here. The Falcons have hired Zach Robinson, Sean McVay disciple.
Yep.
There, he worked with Raheem Morris in L.A. He'll take him over as to be his OC for the Falcons. I think this is very exciting times for the Falcons.
Yeah, and it's been kind of proven any assistant of McVay just happens to work.
And Zach Robinson was a hot name.
Yeah,
he was interviewing a lot of places and
liking the coaching staff over there in the ATL.
Good. They need a quarterback.
And then
Justin Fields.
Look what happened with the Texans.
Imagine Justin Fields there now.
Yeah, you have
Zach Robinson, Morris.
You have weapons. You have Morris who got hired, and then every player in the whole league came to back him up.
Yep.
It's real good vibes over there.
And then finally, my Philadelphia Eagles have hired former Chargers and Cowboys offensive coordinator Kellen Moore to be their guy. So they once again change out their OCDC. What's up?
Yeah. No, these are kind of big name coordinators now.
Yeah. So it's completely opposite what they did last year.
Curious to see the effect that this has on the team.
Yeah. I like Kellen Moore. I think I'm not crazy excited about him because I just don't know enough, I guess. But has had success with multiple quarterbacks. Has experience calling plays.
Yeah.
Which is something we really struggled with this year. And has called plays for a top offense in the NFL. So I think it's a good shot. We'll see how that works out. But yeah, I agree. I want to see the culture of it. I think
Fangio will be just fine. He's a vet. He's been proven.
Fangio's there's some major some very troubling reports coming out of Miami.
Oh, man, I love Fangio.
Yeah, I do too. But I'm saying I want to be excited. I don't want to be negative about it. But there's some very negative reports coming out of Miami as far as his willingness to collaborate.
Well, because them, they're all overachievers over there in Miami. They're not a fake team at all. They're not. They weren't total frauds. So we should trust the words of frauds.
Okay, I feel like you're defending Fangio at this point.
I am. But there's a team that didn't win a playoff game complaining about I don't know.
Broncos just signed former Saints assistant scouting director to be their VP of personnel development.
Yeah. Sean Payton just slowly going to pick off all the Saints assistants and coordinators who are going to get fired eventually. They're all going to come to Denver. So Just
welcome, Cody Rager. Okay, take a quick break, and then when we get back, we're going to do a recap of the AFC NFC Championship games. That's the Lions, Niners, Chiefs, Ravens. Be right back. Okay, we're back. Let's get to this recap. Is that right?
wow, that was bad. You're old. That's okay.
Bars.
Yeah.
Let's start here with the Lions visiting the 49ers.
Oh God.
So much to talk about in this
much.
game.
Where do you wanna start?
Let's just say the Lions just massively choked this game away.
Yeah.
Just that's what it is.
So-
That's our take on it.
Yeah. Going into halftime, 24-7. Okay. Pretty good.
27-7.
No, because they kicked the field goal instead of going for on fourth down. It was
Right.
24-7.
I think you're wrong.
I think you're right. I think I'm right.
They didn't score in the second. Oh, you're right.
Yep. 24-7.
You're right.
Yep.
You're right.
Either way, pretty good lead. We go into halftime. We're all thinking like, what if they just blow out the Niners? What if the game's already over?
It was looking that way.
Then I don't know what the hell happened.
I'll tell you what happened. Gibbs had a fumble. So these are expected points that they lost, okay?
Okay.
Gibbs had a fumble. Expected points there, 5.5. Ayuk had a reception off Vildor's face mask.
Yep.
Expected points there, at least 3.
They got
Okay.
7.
Reynolds had a huge fourth down drop.
Yep.
Right in the hands. Then complained about it on the sideline, which just if I was a quarterback, I don't know, I wouldn't be able to contain myself.
Sorry, I hit you in
Yeah.
in the hands. Dude.
Expected points lost from that one, another 3. Incomplete pass to St. Brown on fourth down, 4th and 3. I think that was a Goff thing.
Yeah.
But expected points there was another 3. So just leaving points all over the board. Not to mention a couple of times Dan Campbell left some points on the board going for on fourth, not kicking field goals. They just pissed this game away. Like I've never seen a team collapse. In fact, it's never happened before. Teams leading by 17 at halftime at conference championship games had never lost before. They were 21-0 when leading that much in that game, and the Lions found a way to do it. It's the largest halftime comeback in conference championship history. Niners, congrats, but jeez.
Yeah, it was the biggest choking job, whatever you want to call it, of the postseason.
Yeah, it really was.
You have a lead at 49ers Stadium. That crowd was dead quiet because you came out first drive and just ran it, and then your offense couldn't be stopped. 24-7.
They were so good.
The stat lines are all Lions. Like Gibbs and Monty had a great game. Goff did what he usually does.
Yeah.
Amar St. Brown and Laporta did their thing, and it just didn't translate to a win because they just choked so much offensively.
I mean, the first half, everything was going right.
Yep.
Like you said, Montgomery and Gibbs were just ripping off chunks against this defense, which is like the most demoralizing thing you can do to a defense is run the ball right at them.
Especially
the
to
most
one that's
demoralizing thing you do to like that kind of defense is just do it over and over again and like
Just embarrass them.
And then the huge Jameson Williams play to silence them. Goff was taking care of the ball. Defensively, they were playing well. And that second half, man, just 27-7 in the second half. They that's the score in the second.
And,
it's just
and the
crazy.
7 was like within 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. So like it's not it's kind of a goofy 7.
Those desperation stuff.
Yeah.
You can't even look at the stat lines of Detroit and be mad because this game really it wasn't lost in the box score. This game was lost in situational football, in some quirky plays. Like that Ayuk catch is one of the quirkiest ways I've ever seen.
Yeah, playoffs, you get some weird plays. You just have to bounce your way sometimes, and it just didn't bounce the Lions' way at all.
Yeah, that and the Lions were just not making plays that were there to be made.
Yeah.
Like that's talking about receivers, a couple of picks that were just right there.
Yeah, Purdy threw a couple picks that just got dropped.
Yeah, just dropped. I mean, they just didn't know how to close this game, and they finally looked like a team that hadn't been there.
Yep.
All postseason they looked good. They looked like they belonged. They looked like they're ready. Like they're not afraid of the moment. And I'm not saying they weren't afraid or they weren't ready, but I'm just saying for the first time they looked like, oh, okay, you haven't done this before.
Yeah,
like this is not how you close out a game.
Yeah, and the Niners have been there 3 times in a row, and this is
you got to give props.
Yeah,
to the Niners.
To be down 24-7.
I mean, I remember at one point I think they were down like 17. In my mind, I thought there's a huge like mental toughness.
Yeah.
drive for them, and yet that was the whole second half. Really was how mentally tough are these Niners, and they came through. Brock Purdy made some plays in the second half that had a big deal that meant a lot to him winning this game. The full story, though, is that Brock Purdy also was a big part of putting him in that hole.
Yeah.
So I think this is what Brock Purdy's been to me. He can make some of these plays that are like,
he did make some pretty good plays yesterday.
Yeah, like with his legs, with his arm, with just some heads-up plays. He can do that, but he can also put you in a hole.
Yeah.
So that to me, that's who Brock Purdy is. And then whether that's fair or not, that's just what I saw yesterday.
No, he played pretty well. I think he had moments where No, he had moments where it's like,
no, I'm saying no pun intended.
Yeah, like that's a pick. That's a drop pick, or that's a bad play. But he had some plays like, that's pretty good football right there.
260 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Like we said, I think they dropped another 2, maybe 3 interceptions.
Also,
60 of those yards was off the face mask of Vildor.
Another game where it should be pointed out, Chris McCaffrey is the best player on the.
He just is.
He's just so good.
20 carries, 90 yards, 2 touchdowns, and just kept coming at him. Another 40 in the passing game.
Yesterday, Burkhart during the game, like death, taxes, and CMC scoring at a freaking touchdown. He's just automatic.
Yeah, he's. This is why all year we're saying he's not even Purdy's not even the MVP of his own team. It's Christian McCaffrey. It's so clearly Christian McCaffrey.
He's a star, a superstar running back.
And something also, Purdy shouldn't be in the MVP conversation at all.
No.
After what I saw yesterday and what I saw the week 4 in Green Bay.
Yeah.
Like, he's not that player, but, whatever. I don't want to hate on the guy. He's going to the Super Bowl. But Christian McCaffrey just spectacular.
Yeah.
Like, so good. Unstoppable. Deebo Samuel played really tough with that shoulder, with that crazy cheap shot from GJ. After the play, I don't know if you saw it, but after the play.
It was a pick, right?
It was a pick. And Deebo was just standing there because he was so far from the play. Chauncey Carter-Johnson ran around him so he wouldn't hit him in the back. Yep. God forbid.
Yeah.
Hit him in the back.
Yeah.
And just literally chest bumped his injured shoulder.
Yeah.
It's like, that is so dirty, but hilarious.
It's hilarious, but very dirty. It's the reason why people don't sign CJ's, GJ, whatever, to a long-term deal. Cause
they had some beef.
Yeah. And
also, did you see him waving bye to the crowd after the second half?
Yeah. Yep. That's embarrassing.
He's going to regret that for so long.
Yep. And now Deebo has all the ammo he needs.
Like,
you don't need.
And he's going to take his shots.
Yeah.
Deebo is not
a great day for the Lions secondary.
Does not take the high road.
Because also Cam Sutton, I don't know what they paid him.
I feel like the broadcast wasn't talking about it at all. But Cam Sutton on the other side of every big play was Cam Sutton trailing.
Ayuk, Debo,
Kittle, anyone, and not to mention even like he wasn't even tackling.
Yeah, he was
like anything at him was like if you have plus negative in basketball.
Yeah,
it's like anything at him is like you're gonna end up on the plus side there.
Yeah, he was bad. He got beat for Ayuk's touchdown, just 5 yards the other way. Ayuk was wide open. Yeah. They were picking on Sutton on third downs, and when they needed to make a play, they paid him a pretty decent deal last year, but. This is a part of the Lions defense that got exposed was these corners just cannot cover.
And that's what we both said, but I think that was like one of your main points.
Yeah.
Like Ayuk and Debo might just go off because we saw Cam Sutton against who they just played before. I can't remember. Yeah. But we saw him just get torched. Yeah. We've seen him get torched all year.
Yeah.
It didn't stop.
Yeah, and then when the lights are brightest, your weaknesses really get exposed, and he was a huge one.
Speaking of which, the Niners now move ahead to the Super Bowl, and last couple weeks we've uncovered a weakness here. They can be run on, and they have been run on.
Yep.
Montgomery 93 yards, Gibbs another 45, both scored touchdowns. You had that huge run by Jameson Williams. Mm-hmm. Here comes Isaiah Pacheco and a Chiefs team that has a newfound commitment to the run game.
And our bases they've turned to like a physical football team, both offensively and on that freaking defense. Like they've turned to a physical running game. We'll get to the Chiefs in a second, but the 49ers, for all the stars they have, this should not happen.
I don't get it. And that's what I told you during the game. I said, what more do you need to be a good team against the run? Greenlaw and Fred Warner and all those defensive linemen, how is this a weakness for you?
Yeah.
But it is, and it was yesterday, and they were able to overcome it. And even in the past game, really, they weren't too sharp. They gave up 31 points yesterday to the Lions, which, granted, is a good defense, but they don't look good against the Packers either. So, to me, that's a little bit of a concern moving forward here. They relied on some quirkiness and the greatest comeback in conference championship history to move to the Super Bowl here.
Yeah.
And so they're doing it, but let's tell both sides of the story here.
Yeah. I mean, Niners won, obviously, in great comeback. There's some concerning issues with this team that they need to clean up because the Chiefs are a professional team. We've seen that now in the playoffs. So, but they have all the talent in the world, which was proven yesterday. When they turn it on, when they are the right mindset, the right headspace, they can come back 21 points and completely dominate second halves of games. Niners are interesting team. I know they're favored, but I'm not saying who I'm picking for the Super Bowl yet. But it's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be interesting to see Jake Moody as well in the Super Bowl, kicking with all that pressure because my boy missed the first kick of the game, and it was like, I mean, it was so important to momentum.
Yeah,
him missing that kick. That's when the Lions really started running away with that first half. But I want to see him as well. That's another maybe concern. Other than that, though, I mean, they're going to lean on McCaffrey. That's who they are.
Yep.
If Brock Purdy keeps making plays when he needs to, I think they should be a very competitive team with the Chiefs. I'm a little concerned with Brock's his errant passes because I don't know if he gets lucky a third time against the Chiefs with all the because the Packers. I mean, you ask a Packer fan about Darnell Savage's drop pick, and they might cry.
And now you ask the Lions about the drop pick and hit Vidler in the face.
Yep,
literally.
It's just he's gone away. He's had some luck, and that's not take away from what he's doing.
But
he's had some lucky plays here down the stretch. Okay, let's talk about moving forward first for the Lions.
Okay.
I have their free agents here. Jonah Jackson, big deal.
Yeah, he didn't play yesterday, but he's a big deal to that offensive line.
Big deal. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. I think you let him walk.
Yeah, I mean, he's good. He's good, but I think you have Kirby Joseph and Branch. You're kind of just good with those two.
Graham Glasgow, sorry.
A veteran guard. He played well this year. They might just keep him for a cheap deal.
Yeah, he might. Josh Reynolds, Dominus People-Jones, some of this wide receiver core.
You said something a couple weeks ago, and it was proven yesterday. I think they're in need of another wideout.
I think so, too.
Because yesterday, when it wasn't really working, they didn't really have – nothing was – they needed someone to just dominate.
Yeah.
And Amon-Ra St. Brown, for as great as he is, just wasn't that guy yesterday. And Laporta's, I don't know. Maybe Laporta takes a step up next year and kind of mitigates that kind of stuff. But they need another guy. Jameson Williams is just the guy. Very fast, but he dropped a touchdown yesterday, right? Remember that one? Left side, deep.
I was going to say, maybe, and the touchdown that he did catch was that desperation touchdown.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't need another star receiver, but they need better depth. Josh Reynolds had a huge drop.
Yep.
And just kind of a couple times yesterday, just some big drops where Goff played well, by the way.
Yeah.
Goff would make some throws or some plays, even extending the plays sometimes, and he would make a throw and his receiver wouldn't come through. And it's just, that's so brutal in these kind of games when you can't get some kind of contribution from those third and fourth receivers, and they just didn't get it yesterday. And that was my point the other day, is that they need some depth behind Amon-Ra because St. Brown and Laporta both had good stat lines.
Yeah, I was surprised they didn't get Gibbs involved in the passing game. He only had 3 catches for 11 yards. They didn't really. I don't know. That would have been the point. But anyways, back to who they're losing. These wideouts let them walk. I think you can move on from Reynolds and from Peoples-Jones. They just didn't make an impact.
What do you do at quarterback?
You keep Goff, but you keep your eye out, in this draft for a quarterback. Because Goff's played well. I think he'll play another 2 years there just fine. Yeah. But Ben Johnson leaving, I don't know if that'll affect Goff.
Yeah, this is the sad reality. As an Eagles fan, I'm learning this. You get this far, you've grabbed some attention with your coaching staff, and they're going to get poached. And Ben Johnson's 1 foot out the door.
Yeah.
Aaron Glenn got a lot of head coaching hires. I don't think he'll go anywhere, but he got a lot of head coaching interviews. He might get a shot here eventually, and you're going to have to start refilling the cabinet with those guys. And not to mention some of these, you got some 1-year deals here that you kind of made a run with. You're going to need to replace them. Mm-hmm. But I think for the most part, arrows up here for the Lions.
Yeah, they're rookies. Laporta, Gibbs, Branch. That's a fantastic rookie class. You could build off that. Strike it.
And then who are you missing? You're missing one.
Strike it one more time.
Jack Campbell. Listen, Jack Campbell's a miss.
He played okay yesterday.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. He played okay. But imagine Joey Porter Jr. yesterday.
Yeah, they could have used him.
They could really use him. Not to mention you had good linebackers anyway.
But I think the miss is negated by the slam dunks by Laporta, Gibbs, and
that's fair.
And Branch.
That's fair. The Bears. The Lions now after Coach Campbell took over 3-13-1 the first season, 9-8 the second season. This year 12-5. So let's just take a step back, take a big picture view. It was success of a season.
Yeah, Arrow's pointed up. I think third youngest team in like football. So they're not old. They're not some veteran team. But now they have to maneuver the target on their back because now they're a good team. So everyone's gonna be getting up for Lions games now, which is something that they've never experienced before. So looking forward to see how they respond next year, coordinator wise and team wise. Because
did you see what Dan Campbell's interview at the end?
It was honest, and I agree with it.
He said some interesting things, and the one headline that people keep showing, but totally out of context, what he was saying is that this might be our only chance. What he was saying, it's so hard to get to this point.
Yep.
Not that he doesn't believe his team can get back to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, we always talk about championship windows and how we think they're like years. He knows like it's very tough to get far in the playoffs. Next year, you never know, an injury or whatever. God forbid, whatever happens. Yeah,
loss of Ben Johnson.
No, he's right though. Yeah. What if it is? What if their one shot was this year and whatever happened?
Yeah, he. I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less from Dan Campbell. He owned his mistakes. He owned even his tough calls that looked like mistakes. He said, "Listen, that's the call I made. Felt good about it at the time. I'm not going to apologize for it. That's the gig."
Yeah, I think if you're mad about that, like, no, he's been playing like this.
That's how you got there.
That's how you got there. So don't change who you are now.
Yeah.
And don't like overanalyze who you are because of It was in hindsight, it looks like bad calls, but he was just doing what he's done to get here. So I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I think he's good. Honestly, I don't think I haven't seen really Lions going at him too much either. I know there's
reporters.
There was a lot of like national talking heads and stuff like that going at him on Twitter just for not taking 3 points and stuff. And they might even be right in some of those cases, but. Yeah. Dan Campbell who he is, and the Lions are still in a really good place with him leading the ship there, culture-wise and all that. They played in the NFC Championship game. Yeah, like raise your hand if you predicted that.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's move on here to the Chiefs and the Ravens. Another classic game.
Here we go.
17-10.
Let's talk about
defensive battle. Okay,
what
at halftime 17-7. Okay, only 3 more points were scored. That was by the Ravens, and it wasn't enough. The Chiefs come out victorious. They're going to another Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes has played 17 postseason games. He's 14-3. So that's a full. That's a full like season now. Yeah. So his postseason stats 14-3.
Yeah.
4,800 yards passing. 450 yards rushing, 39 passing touchdowns, 5 rushing touchdowns, only 7 interceptions.
And he just proved that he could play just fine on the road. That was the whole thing this year. He doesn't have home games. He's perfectly fine.
Yeah, you can stop all that.
He went 30 for 39.
Yeah. They go through Miami, Buffalo, and Baltimore. Stop it.
Like the best teams in the AFC. Yeah. Like, stop.
Not to mention, my boy Travis Kelce is
little fountain of youth action.
God, he showed up looking for trouble.
11 targets, 11 catches, 116 yards, and a touchdown.
I mean, pregame, he's getting to it with Justin Tucker. You had a couple fights on the side. There was so much a buzz. You had Ray Lewis there doing his thing.
Yeah, Suggs come out.
He definitely did it. Terrell Suggs there, doing his thing. Even though it's funny, Terrell Suggs finished his career with the Chiefs. Yeah. But anyway, so they're there. There's so much buzz kind of in the stadium, and the Chiefs were there for it, man. The Chiefs yesterday showed like we've been here before.
And Travis Kelce, you talked about it too. He's very chippy right now. He's very, he's playing angry, and it's working because he lit it up last week, and this week he was the best player on offense by a wide margin, beside Mahomes. Like, fantastic game.
Broke the record for most catches in the postseason, 156. That's the most ever. He's second in receiving yards in postseason and 4th in touchdowns. He's every bit the legend that Mahomes is at this point. And this is very Brady Gronkish.
And he's beating this guy named Jerry Rice's record. Like, Jerry Rice, anytime you beat a Jerry Rice record, that's tough.
You don't see, like, his name come up a lot. And, like, hey, he passed Jerry Rice.
Because Jerry Rice is, like, the greatest of all time. So for him to do this as a tight end in his 11th season, whatever, he's balling out right now.
So the Chiefs, they played the 2023-2024 brand of Chiefs football.
Yep.
They played fantastic defense. Steve Spagnuolo was, just a star as he's been in this game. Only give up 10 points to this Ravens team. Patrick Mahomes took care of the ball, made big plays, was very efficient, 30 of 39 for 241 yards. Pacheco ran well, ran tough, 68 yards and touchdown for him. Travis Kelce moved the chains, made some crazy catches in big moments.
Fourth downs, third downs.
This guy, man. That's what happens when your girl's in the stands.
Yeah.
Like, we've all felt that.
A little bit better.
Yeah, and then your girl brings her friends. Like,
it's like, I got to show out.
It's done.
Yeah, and then rookie Rashee Rice is he's the truth. He got smacked around a lot yesterday.
He's tough.
But he's just the best wideout by a wide margin. The next, MVS had that, game ceiling. Yeah, but besides that, you never heard of him.
Yeah.
Prior, like Rashee Rice is a very good wideout. They finally nailed a draft pick like at the wideout spot because he's very good.
And it seems like they figured out just on time. Yeah. Like they're in a groove now. They know who they're going to. Mm-hmm. They know it's Pacheco, Rashee Rice, Travis Kelce, not in that order, but it's those three, and then Patrick Mahomes kind of making a play every now and then, sprinkling a Justin Watson, a Noah Gray, one of those.
It's not
guys.
the Tyreek Hill trio, but it's more like we're going to be a lot safer and smarter with how we get our yards.
Yeah. They're sufficient. They don't. Knock on wood here, but they don't fumble.
Yep.
They hold on to the ball, and they just. They rely on a really, really good defense.
And next week when they play or 2 weeks from now, Pacheco's going to be a problem for those 49ers. He runs tough. He can catch the ball well. He has a lot for that offense. He's an emerging star running back on a team that really needed a star running back, and now he just provides a spark and an energy to that offense that you can't really get with Clyde or with McKinnon last year kind of did it for them, but now it's all him.
Yeah.
And he's pretty freaking good.
Okay, let's move over to the Ravens now because in a season where they were just consensus best team in the league from start to finish, till fumbled away in the AFC Championship game that they got to host with the MVP, with a mostly healthy roster as far as what they've had all season, to go down scoring 10 points, losing to Patrick Mahomes in a down year.
Let's talk about Lamar Jackson.
It starts and ends with Lamar Jackson. They gave him the big contract this offseason. Do it 37 times. In a perfect world, you don't want Lamar Jackson throwing 37 times, and there's a reason for that. Only completes 20 of those, 272 yards, doesn't look as good with 37 attempts. Just one touchdown, one interception, was sacked 4 times. It was the collectively maybe the worst game of the year for the Ravens, but one of the worst games we've seen Lamar Jackson play lately.
The game plan was keep him in the pocket and make him beat us, and he just did not. There was some moments where they showed the replay and none of the guys were getting open. That sucks. But there's also a point where even players were saying just keep him as a quarterback and see what happens. Look what happened.
Yeah,
he wasn't effective. Offense wasn't moving. They couldn't really run the ball very well. It was just Lamar Jackson just trying to piece together, and the whole thing about him not being good in the playoffs that now lives on, has gained momentum now, and I compared him to Josh Allen. They're just two of the same people that just can't beat Mahomes. Yeah. Whether that's their fault or just terrible, terrible luck with timing. They just can't beat Mahomes and can't win the playoffs because this guy, number 15 for the Chiefs, just keeps on beating them.
Yeah, I don't like that comparison just because I feel like they keep losing, but losing in different ways. Lamar Jackson didn't play well.
Yeah.
Josh Allen went off.
Yeah.
But, just a tough – so here's what I realized yesterday about Baltimore is just all season long, it was highlighted yesterday just how much Lamar Jackson was doing.
Yeah.
Because this supporting cast just isn't that good.
Zay Flowers is a good wideout.
Right, yeah. He is, but he's a rookie.
Yep.
Never been there before. That showed a couple times. Had a huge fumble down the goal line. It's just 101 wide receiver. You don't extend the ball unless you're going to cross the goal line and it's safe. There's 3 defenders there.
Yeah.
He extends that ball. Stupidest rule in football, but it's a rule.
Yep.
They turn over there, and then of course the taunting. Whether or not you feel like it was taunting, I personally don't even think it was taunting, but you're playing with that line where you could cost your team.
And it did.
And that's a rookie move.
Yep.
And it did. And that was big for him. But I'm saying that that's the guy they're relying on, though.
Yeah.
Who else?
Yeah, Mark Andrews came back, but 2 catches for 15 yards. I feel like I think they didn't know how to use 2 tight ends very well.
Yeah.
Because Likely was going off when Andrews was gone. They get Mark Andrews back, and they both kind of didn't do anything.
Yeah, maybe they would better serve just to keep Andrews out until he's 100% because Likely was playing really well. But, behind that, like, Odell Beckham's not good anymore.
Yeah, he's just done. It's just he got old, and his body gave up.
Beckham, Aguilar, and Bateman are all the same guy.
Yeah.
They're all number 4 receivers.
Streaky, can give you a moment, but at this point in all their careers, not very reliable.
There's nothing really explosive on this offense other than Zay Flowers now that Keaton Mitchell's gone. Justice Hill is fast, but 3 yards for 3 carries for 3 yards.
Yeah, that's a position where I told you yesterday during the game, like, they need to get a running back on this team.
Badly.
To balance out and to carry the load of carrying the offense, like, from down to down, drive to drive. Because Gus Edwards is a good goal line guy. Justice Hill is, like, good rotational, but they're not starters. They're just fitting pieces. The best running back right now is still Lamar Jackson, but they were trying to get him away from that. I think next year you kind of have to lean a little bit more. I mean, they led the league in rushing this year because Lamar Jackson just...
Well, that's what I was going to say. For a team that led the league in rushing, yesterday, attempts-wise, 3 for Gus Edwards, 2 for Zay Flowers, 3 for Justice Hill. They didn't run the ball yesterday. They just decided that they're going to win with Lamar Jackson throwing the ball, which I don't get. Like, you have Lamar Jackson in the building. You know his strengths. You know his weaknesses.
Yeah.
Okay, so why are... 2 running backs getting 6 combined carries?
A little bit trying to prove a point.
A little bit.
Like, Lamar Jackson can throw. Yeah, but he also can run. Don't totally ignore one thing.
Or your other running backs, or your running game as a whole.
Yeah. They just abandoned it. And Todd Monken, for as much as we praised him this year, not a very good game plan.
No.
Did not perform well.
No, Steve Spagnuolo owned him yesterday.
Yeah.
Completely owned him. Got him one-dimensional very quickly. They're relying on just... It feels like the entire game they're hunting for a big play.
Yeah.
And that's how they're going to win the game.
Or for Lamar Jackson to do something crazy, which he did in that one where he got tipped and he...
Insane. Because he can do those things.
Yeah. But I think at this point, you go far enough. Look at Patrick Mahomes. He needs help. Look at, Brock Purdy, obviously not the same tier, but, like, they need help. You got to give Lamar Jackson some more help. I know they've been snake-bitten at running back. Just running backs keep going down. They can't stay healthy. But they need to add to their and the wideout room. They both need help.
They almost need a complete rehaul of this wide receiver room, except for Zay Flowers.
Yeah.
Aguilar can go. He's bouncing around teams right now anyway. Beckham.
Yeah.
I felt like when they signed him, they thought they solved something that they just wasn't even close.
Yeah.
Like, he's not the guy. He's not that guy.
Maybe they thought he'd be like a third down chain mover guy. He's not even that guy.
No.
Yeah.
I thought they found someone that's likely lately, but obviously his targets were severely limited yesterday.
Yeah, I'm not sure if maybe they just didn't know how to use both tight ends.
Yeah.
Because both are good. Likely has been proven to be good. And for them to not be involved as little as they were is just a misuse of assets.
Yeah. Just completely shut down yesterday on offense, which is, so unfortunate. They were at least a top 5 offense off the top of my head. But, it is some blame on the Ravens, but it's also some credit to this Chiefs defense is, I think, Olsen said yesterday, the best defense Mahomes has ever had.
And they're shutting down good offenses, and they're winning tough games away. Chris Jones, Bolton.
10 points at home.
Snead had the punch out on Zay Flowers. Chris Jones. Yeah, there's very good, very well coached. Secondary is elite, and Chris Jones in the front, and that front four just kind of rotate, like who's to make a play, and phenomenally coached and the best defense he's had by far.
Yeah,
in his whole Chiefs career.
Yep, and that's all they need. Just that defense, a little bit of Rashee Rice, a whole lot of Travis Kelce, and
Mahomes still has the magic.
They're going to Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Ravens moving forward here.
Okay.
You have no choice but to run it back with Lamar Jackson for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, he's your guy. Yeah.
You keep trying to build around him now.
Yeah.
You've drafted really well. That defense is still really good.
Yeah.
Kyle Hamilton, every time I watch him play, it's just like
he got taken to school first drive though.
That play was such like next level football.
Yeah.
Because you have Kyle Hamilton step for step with Travis Kelce, just right there.
Yeah.
It's also crazy to see them next to each other because Kyle Hamilton is not as thick, but like as big.
Yeah.
Tall. Tall as Travis Kelce. And he's there, and just Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce back shouldered the crap out of him.
Just that connection. You can play well all year. When it gets to playoffs and Mahomes and Kelce, that's just as good.
That was beautiful.
Now we can literally say that's just as good as Brady, Gronk, or Jerry Rice and Joe. That's the same level.
Oh, yeah. That is the only touchdown that Kyle Hamilton gave up all year to a tight end.
Yeah.
That's like...
And he played well after that.
He played incredible.
Yeah.
He was all over the place.
I don't fault him for losing to a Hall of Fame quarterback and Hall of Fame tight end. No. Like, that just happens.
Yeah, Kyle Hamilton, Roquan Smith going forward. Those are your pillars to build on. You got to figure out Patrick Queen, Justin Madubuike. You got to figure that out.
Good for you.
I was very unimpressed. Oh, the pronunciation.
Yeah, very good.
Jadeveon Clowney did a classic disappearing act. Just a classic Jadeveon Clowney.
Yep.
Am I here? Am I not here?
Yep.
You'll never know.
I just look cool in pads.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No one else really showed up, especially for this pass rush, which is the most disappointing part.
Yeah.
If you remember, I forgot about this. I read a story this morning. This the Chiefs O-line was really bad to start the season.
They didn't have their All-Pro yesterday.
Yeah, they didn't have Joe Thuney yesterday. Yeah. But ever since I forgot which game it was, but there was a game where Andy Reid basically took over a lot of the O-line coaching.
Yeah.
And ever since then and yesterday, they've been fantastic.
Andy Reid out here just doing what he does, man.
They've
good
been
for Andy Reid.
So good.
Yeah.
And yesterday they shut down this pass rush, and that was a big deal. You had to get to Mahomes. You couldn't blitz because he kills the blitz.
He kills, yeah.
And so with that front four, you had to get there, and you had guys who had gotten there all year, and just it didn't happen yesterday.
Yeah.
And it's a bad time to choose not to get there. But, I mean.
Yeah, Ravens going to the offseason have some big choices, like Madubuike. Am I saying his name right? Yeah.
Nailed it.
He's free agent. I know Zettler, their right guard's a free agent. And the running back, you gotta. I'm not sure if they would draft one or sign one, but there's some.
At this point, they have to be like, I don't know what the answer is either because we've drafted them and we've signed them, and they just get hurt.
I mean, there's some pretty significant running backs.
So the big names are Derrick Henry is out there.
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley's out there.
Josh Jacobs out there.
Even like a Zach Moss.
Austin Eckler's out there.
We haven't talked about this yet. It's an extremely weak running back draft class.
Yeah.
It's not a good running back draft class.
Yeah.
So I feel like unlike last year, where you had some pretty good backs coming into the league, this year some of these vets might get the deals that they're looking for, or at least something close to what they're looking for.
And they're a prime spot for a veteran running back who, like Derrick Henry, would do wonders for them.
I can see Henry or Saquon going there.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's kind of a fit that I could see happening. But I mean, there's no choice. You got to run it back, draft as best you can, get sneaky, and they're good at those things.
This is a good wideout class. I think take another stab at wideout. See if you can pair Zay Flowers with another guy, and then you have
you hit on Zay Flowers.
Yeah, he's you slam dunk.
Mm-hmm.
For all his errors he made yesterday, mental, whatever, fumbling. Very good rookie wideout. Yes.
To be a rookie wideout, put in that position against that defense, against that cornerback, that trio of cornerbacks.
Yeah, Snead,
2 All-Pros.
Snead, McDuffie, yeah.
Like that to over 100 yards. I think over 100 yards, a touchdown. He played really well.
Yeah.
He had some mental errors, but going forward, just build the best you can in the offseason. And try again next year.
They're so good at drafting, though, and I trust them that they'll get another 1 or 2 starters in this draft because they're just so good at it. But question marks on offense, and Lamar Jackson has to. He's got to play, but at end of the day, it's Lamar Jackson. Okay,
how old is Lamar Jackson? Let me look at this up quick.
Yeah, I mean he can't be over 28, right? Or 28, 29 maybe.
Lamar Jackson is 27 years old, so still very young.
Yeah, so still young. A lot of years left.
January 7th. So he'll be 27 to start next year.
Yeah.
27 to start next year. And but the clock is ticking, man. Like these playoff choke jobs just are defining his career at this point.
Yeah, like fantastic season, MVP frontrunner.
Yeah.
For a reason, but he just no rings. Nothing to back it up to solidify his legacy.
So I think an interesting comparison is the Lamar Jackson to Brock Purdy, because as far as the MVP conversation, because we kind of killed Purdy about you're not an actual candidate, and it kind of was exposed. So why don't we kill Lamar Jackson the same way?
Yeah,
right. But to me, it's not apples to apples. Right?
No, different. Lamar Jackson has not a lot less, but like less,
way less. Yeah, no, that's fair. You could say that.
No CMC, no Debo, no Ayuk, and we're making excuses for one guy, but. Watch the game yesterday. You saw a lack of talent on one side of the ball.
Right.
Yeah, and
they shut down Lamar Jackson. That's the thing. You shut down Lamar Jackson, the Ravens are done.
Yeah.
You shut down Brock Purdy,
you're not done.
Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, we saw yesterday.
The little cheap throws to Kittle.
You saw yesterday. We shut down Purdy. The offense scored 34.
Right. Okay, so we'll see going forward. They have $13 million in cap space.
Got to do a little bit of gymnastic cap wise.
Yep. We think D-line, a need. Running back, a huge need. A playmaking type running back, like a CMC.
Yep.
And then some wideout depth.
That's the story of Lamar Jackson's career is wideout depth.
Yeah. Last thing here, real quick, and we're not going to get into this too much because we'll have a whole episode on this, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But the Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady conversation heating up.
Yes.
And it's
It's
legitimate.
getting scary now, actually.
Yeah, Brady's. I mean, listen, he's a team player, and he'll probably celebrate it. But to be the GOAT, and then immediately after you're done, just the next GOAT's already there.
Yeah,
God,
like to only have that title. Like Montana had it for like 25 years.
Yeah,
Brady had it for like 3 years.
Let me ride for a little bit.
Yeah.
Through 6 seasons starting, 72-22 is Mahomes' record. 70-24, so a 2-game difference through 6 seasons starting. Playoff record 14-3 for Mahomes, 12-2 for Brady, very close there as well. AFC titles 4 for Mahomes, 3 for Brady. Super Bowl rings 2 for Mahomes, 3 for Brady. So just super close. What is not close is what they've had to do for their teams.
Yeah,
Brady. Listen, it's. I think he's the GOAT. I'm not killing Brady.
Hey, as of right now, yes, he's greatest of all time.
But he did rely on a great defense to start his career.
Yeah.
And it tells here in the numbers, 167 touchdowns through 6 seasons. Patrick Mahomes with almost twice that. No, I'm sorry. God, no. Patrick Mahomes with almost 100 more than that.
Yeah.
270. Just 69 interceptions for Mahomes, 87 for Brady. And so stats-wise, Mahomes, as far as throwing stats, Mahomes kind of has a very clear edge here. QB rating, too, also much higher. But Mahomes is coming for him.
Yeah, we'll talk a lot about this next week. But it's not a very comfortable state for Tom Brady.
Yeah, and that's a lot of numbers. So I'll make sure I'll throw this graphic here. It's by the 33rd team. So shout out to Ari Merov and those boys.
Yeah. But Mahomes, another Super Bowl appearance. I think whether he wins or loses, it still adds to his legacy. If he wins it, obviously you're like, oh crap, I think he might have. He has the best shot of any quarterback right now to match Brady because he's doing it so young.
Yeah, I mean, if he wins another one here, he'll have literally matched Brady in Super Bowl rings through 6 seasons. So he'll be right on track with Brady and have 2 more AFC titles than Brady.
Yeah, so
have been there a lot more.
Scary times. I think I think it wins this one. He passes the Peyton Mannings, the Drew Breeses. I think he passes those guys.
There's a lot of guy cut. I mean, it's so similar because you have Mahomes coming for Brady. You have Reed coming from Belichick.
Yep.
And you have Kelsey coming for Gronk.
Yep.
Like, because some people think Gronk is the
Kelsey
best.
coming for Jerry Rice. Yeah, most of his stuff is Jerry Rice's stuff.
I mean, it's crazy we get these dynasties back to back. Because at this point, it's a dynasty. There's no more. It's a dynasty.
It's a dynasty.
In their down year, here they are in the Super Bowl.
And like the least talented wideouts that they've ever had, they're still
made
back.
It work on the road 3 times in a row. They are inevitable. They're undeniable.
Yeah,
like they're going to be there. We're going to get into that a lot more. But that's really a very, very interesting conversation and one that I didn't think we'd be having this close to. Brady's retirement.
Yeah, Brady's poor Brady. I mean, they waited a long time to get that GOAT title. He had to prove it to everybody. Go to Tampa, win a championship just for this freaking kid in Kansas City. Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, so that's our show for today. We're gonna get to so much more on. I almost said Friday on Wednesday.
What's the show?
God, this is gonna be a long week if I already think it's Wednesday. That's our show for today. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. We will see you on Wednesday with a brand new show.
Yeah. All right.
Solid.
Solid ending.
Bye.
See ya.